What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel of Trigonometry. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell just made some significant remarks during today's FOMC meeting. What is the impact? Also, Microsoft and Meta just released a major earnings report. Let's break it down. So, Jerome Powell said something today he has never said before. So, what did Jerome Powell say in the FOMC meeting today? In my opinion, Jerome Powell was very hawkish today. He said that the Fed has not made decision for September meeting in terms of rate cut. He even mentioned that the current rate may be not restrictive enough since the economy is doing so well. We have the GDP at 3%, we have the employment at record low at 4%, and he did not see the weakness in the labor market. He felt the balance of the risk leans more towards inflation since he started to see inflation in goods and inflation on services moderated. However, due to the complications of tariff, it is very difficult to know the actual impact of the tariff in the near future. So the Fed will be data dependent. We see the probability of one rate cut of 25 basis point plummet to 43%, and we see the probability of no rate cut surge all the way to almost 57%. And now there's zero chance of 50 basis point cut. So was dramatically different from before the FOMC meeting. So what is the implication for the market? I believe this is very bearish for small caps and financial stocks since we have previously priced in a September rate cut, which is now gone basically. There could be some repricing for small caps and financial stock. So I would be watch out for the small caps and financial stocks right now. And now let's talk about the earnings. Microsoft just released earnings of their Q4 2025. The revenue was 76.44 billion, beating the estimate of 73.89 billion, up 18% year over year. The EPS is $3.65, beating estimate of $3.37, up 24% year over year. The intelligent cloud revenue at 29.88 billion, beating estimate of 29.1 billion, up 26% year over year. And Azure and the other cloud service up 39% year over year, the beating estimate of 34% year over year. So it was a blowout quarter from Microsoft. It was beat all across the board. Revenue beat of I would say about 4%, and the EPS beat almost 10%. And also the Azure cloud, a big beat of 5% growth, which is a lot. Consider Microsoft is almost $4 trillion company and has this kind of a beat is quite amazing. And Microsoft is up over 8% after hour. Microsoft just became the second company to reach $4 trillion market cap after Nvidia. That's quite remarkable. And we have Meta, and Meta also just released their Q2 earnings, the revenue of 47.52 billion, beating estimate of 44.8 billion, up 22% year over year, EPS of $7.14, beating estimate of 5.89, up over 38% year over year. And we have the capex of 66 billion to 72 billion in line with expectation, and the Q3 revenue guide 47.5 billion to 50.5 billion, a beating estimate of 46.2 billion, which is another huge beat. It's a cross the board beat. Again, that's an almost 8% beat on revenue and almost 20% beat on EPS. That's quite amazing. It was really, really amazing for both Microsoft and Meta to beat the earning expectation by this huge margin. And Meta, I believe, is up over 11% at this moment after hour. And just like that, QQQ is up over 1% overnight, completely erased the intraday dip. I found it very, very interesting when Jerome Powell gave a very hawkish tone today. The market dumped pretty hard, especially in the small cap. The small cap dumped almost 2%, and you did not see any kind of bounce. And however, if you look at the QQQ had almost 1% dump. However, it has already overtaken the previous high. Now it's trading at 575. And same for SPY, it's trading at 640, which is also another all-time high. So basically, you cannot short QQQ or SPY. They're just too strong, leading by the big tech. But we do see a lot of weakness in IWM, especially after the big tech earning. Now, I think a lot of money is fleeing small cap and embracing big cap, mega cap like Microsoft and Meta, and you start to see this kind of rotation out of small cap into mega cap, even though the mega cap are already up so much and the small cap just cannot catch up. On top of this very hawkish rate cut expectation, I think small cap stocks are going to keep losing interest because they're not getting the favor from interest rate perspective. They simply do not have the cash like the mega cap they can spend on AI, boost their top line and bottom line. So I think there will be more headwinds for small caps in the next few months. But on the other hand, for the mega cap, I think they gonna keep attracting more money flowing into them. This is a very, very interesting dynamic. And Donald Trump also just made a deal with South Korea. So another 15% tariff on South Korea. And then South Korea will invest like I believe 500 billion into United States, things like that. It's very similar to EU and Japan deal. So I looks like deals like this will keep flowing in, and the main beneficiary will be those mega caps like Microsoft, Meta, Google, Amazon, and all these companies will get all the love. Nvidia and AMD, the semiconductors, AI infrastructure plays, they will continue to dominate this cycle. We have a lot of economic data coming out today, which were also very, very good. The ADP employment change at 104,000, beating estimate of 75,000. And GDP growth at 3%, beating estimate of 2.4%. It's one of those very weird situation. The market is just so strong, but it's led by a few stocks. So it still has a lot of momentum left in SPY and QQQ. However, I would be very cautious about IWM and some of the financial stocks because of the new interest rate expectation. That's all for today. Please leave a comment and like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.